Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is for those people who have their natal Pluto in the sixth house, which is the house of service to others in the form of work and health and your daily routine. So Pluto is quite the planet, let me tell you. It's a planet that is associated with power. I mean, in Vedic astrology, Pluto is considered a malefic planet because they separate the planets by whether or not they're considered overtly challenging or bad, I guess you could say, or easy or good. Like exerting mostly a positive or negative influence. So they would, Eastern astrologers would consider Pluto to exert mostly a negative influence, I would think. I'm not an expert on Vedic astrology by a long shot, but that's how I see it. So Pluto definitely has this dark aura attached to it and is one of the rulers of Scorpio. So it's very scorpionic. And so obsession, power, sex, violence, crime, the lord of the underworld, so the seedy underbelly of life in general. Also emotional intensity or passion, secrets, and investigating those secrets. And so when somebody has Pluto in the sixth house, work, this area of life, becomes a very intense part of the person's life. So they may be obsessed with their job, and this can lead to workaholism. The person can be a very hard worker, but of course, anything can be taken to the extreme, and Pluto is an extreme kind of an influence, like the sign that it rules. Scorpio is an extreme sign. So the workplace can become a place of power struggles where the person with Pluto in the sixth house may be so obsessed with their job and obsessed with gaining power, which is a big part of Pluto in the workplace, that they are overbearing towards others. And this can create that ripple effect of other people not liking that quality. I mean, if you think about when you're in a workplace situation and somebody is very ambitious, but they're taking it to the nth degree, it can be unsettling for other people because, first of all, they can feel like they're being shown up, and it makes other people defensive, like, oh, is the boss going to think that I'm like lazy compared to this person? But they're not that obsessive about the job, so they're not, trying as hard. But that's not necessarily a sign that they're not a good worker. So, look at how you approach your work. Do you tend to act in an extreme manner, and then you notice that you don't have good relationships with your coworkers? On the flip side, they might be the ones who are oppressive to you. Maybe there's something behind the scenes with them, and you always feel like you're on the outside looking in, and that there is some kind of a negative vibe in the workplace. You actually are empowered by serving other people. So if you can keep it pure and not have this Machiavellian tendency, these Machiavellian tendencies, then you might actually help yourself. Some of the more challenging things that I mention here might be more likely if you have hard angles to Pluto than just in general. So that's something to consider. And I want to give a shout out to a site that I use to compile my list called advancedastrology.com. There's a hyphen between advanced and astrology. So, let me see. You might be quite uncooperative and willful. So you don't like people telling you what to do. You need your space, you need your freedom in the workplace. So it can be hard for you to take orders, in other words. And yet you might be the one who's controlling in that same space. If you're using your work to try to gain power, you need to look at that, because true power comes from within. It's not from some kind of a job title or the type of work that you're doing that makes you feel like you can control other people, being a petty tyrant. You don't want to go that route. Now, in terms of what kind of work that you might gravitate towards, sometimes the planets in the sixth house can give us some ideas, and with Pluto here, can be in scorpionic areas, so healing of all sorts. Psychology is a big one, criminal science, and that sometimes involves psychology. The mortuary sciences, so mortician or what have you, maybe a grave digger, I don't know. Research and anything that involves other people's money. I assume that can even mean being an accountant if you have other, placements that would indicate having a good head for numbers. So, since this is the house of health, there can be an obsession with diet and a controlling of your food intake. The sixth house is a house of the diet. And so it's interesting, they mentioned you might have OCD. Now, this would be more of an afflicted Pluto. And I think one of the big reasons that they talk about this is that this is the house of your daily routine. And a person who has this placement might be very attached to a certain, you could call it a schedule, but if you have certain rituals that you do every day, so it could be a workout routine and other things, if you cannot make it happen for some reason, it could be very unsettling for you. So you might just be kind of like over the top when it comes to having that routine. Maybe that makes you feel like your life is under control. And so eating disorders can happen when Pluto is in the sixth house, okay? And I remember when Karen Carpenter passed away in the early 80s, and I don't know what she had in her chart. I should look it up actually and see if she had this position. But anorexia became kind of talked about more in the public eye and in the media and stuff like that. And I remember them explaining why people get anorexia, mostly seems to be women. And one thing they said is that it was a way for these girls and women to feel in control of their life when they felt out of control in other areas. So that is, that idea of control is a big theme of that. But I'd also include, besides anorexia, I'd include orthorexia, which is the attachment to a pure diet. So somebody who always wants to eat cleanly. And of course, I mean that I try to do that myself. But when you're afraid you're afraid you're going to get sick if you have tap water one day when you usually have filtered water, and you would rather be dehydrated than to drink tap water or to eat something that isn't what you consider pure, like if it's organic. And again, when I look at a lot of my stuff, it's organic. A lot of it is just naturally because of where I shop. But I am not obsessive about it. And so a person like this will feel maybe anxiety if they can't have the kind of foods that make them feel safe or make them feel under control. And actually, they were saying that this placement can indicate phobias or anxiety issues in general. And what was that? The other thing I was going to say, there was something I was going to say back with, I was going to just say one more thing about coworkers. There might be jealousy, so you might feel this sense of rivalry with them. And, we could say that when people feel that other people are their rivals, they might even have like a competitive attitude. So again, that's where those power struggles come in. So, you have a great healing ability. So whether it's with other people or even with yourself. So if you do get some kind of a health issue that comes up, even if I could see even if somebody had a very serious disease, that they would be those kinds of people that they always cite and say that person, healed themselves. Or if they, were under a doctor's care or whatever, they were able to bounce back from a very serious illness. So there's a lot of strength with Pluto. So I don't want to make it just seem like Pluto is just nuts or something. There is there can be a lot of talent, but you're the kind of person that you have to really feel it. You have to really be passionate about what you do. This is kind of like how Scorpio is too, that they have extremes in emotion, so they really love something or they're indifferent to it. Now, one of the funny things is that, and they said that you don't like criticism too. I don't think there's many people in the world that like criticism of any sign or placement. But the sixth house is a house of pets, and they were talking about having unusual pets, and they mentioned snakes or spiders. And I would say that something gothic like Scorpio. So maybe like a scorpion. I don't know. But yeah, kind of like snakes and spiders are kind of gothic in a way, aren't they? They're kind of like dangerous or black, like a tarantula or something that's real kind of creepy looking, hairy. Or maybe like a Venus flytrap. I don't know. That's kind of silly. But anyway, I hope that this resonated with all of you people with this position. I kind of put it off as one of my last Pluto videos, but I kind of got a kick out of it. I think it's kind of interesting, some of these attributes. So anyway, if you would like a personal reading, you can check the link below for the different types of readings that I offer. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.